Have you ever wondered how the world's most life-saving antibiotic was discovered in one of the messiest laboratories in medical history? Alexander Fleming's groundbreaking discovery of penicillin in 1928 wasn't the result of meticulous scientific planning, but rather his notorious habit of leaving dirty dishes scattered around his London laboratory for weeks at a time. Fleming was infamous among his colleagues at St. Mary's Hospital for his chaotic work habits and poor housekeeping. His laboratory benches were perpetually covered with unwashed petri dishes, some containing bacterial cultures that had been abandoned for days or even weeks. This seemingly unprofessional behavior would have horrified modern microbiologists. Yet it created the perfect conditions for one of medicine's greatest accidents. On September 3, 1928, Fleming returned from a 2-week vacation to find his laboratory in its usual state of disarray. Among the pile of contaminated culture plates was one particular dish containing Staphylococcus bacteria that had been sitting unwashed since before his departure. What made this dish extraordinary was the presence of an uninvited guest, a blue-green mold that had somehow found its way into the culture. The mold, later identified as Penicillium notatum, had created something remarkable around its edges. Where the mold grew, the deadly Staphylococcus bacteria had mysteriously disappeared, leaving clear, bacteria-free zones. This observation would have been impossible in a sterile, well-maintained laboratory, where contaminated dishes would have been immediately discarded and sterilized. Fleming's trained eye immediately recognized the significance of this bacterial inhibition. The mold was producing a substance that could kill dangerous bacteria, a natural antibiotic that would later be named penicillin after the Penicillium genus. His years of experience with bacterial cultures allowed him to understand that this wasn't merely contamination, but a potential medical breakthrough. Rather than discarding the ruined culture plate, Fleming carefully preserved it and began systematic testing. He discovered that the mold's secretions could inhibit the growth of many harmful bacteria, including Streptococcus, Meningococcus, and diphtheria bacillus. However, it would take another decade before Howard Florey and Ernst Boris Chain would develop methods to mass-produce this miracle substance. The timing of penicillin's development proved crucial during World War II. Mass production began in 1942, just when Allied forces desperately needed an effective treatment for battlefield infections. Penicillin reduced death rates from bacterial infections by over 80%, saving countless military and civilian lives during the war years. Today's pharmaceutical industry operates under strict sterility protocols that would make Fleming's chaotic laboratory impossible. Modern drug discovery relies on controlled environments, systematic screening, and deliberate experimentation. Approaches that might have prevented the serendipitous conditions necessary for penicillin's discovery. Fleming's accidental discovery has saved an estimated 200 million lives since its introduction. Penicillin became the foundation for the entire antibiotic era, leading to treatments for pneumonia, scarlet fever, gonorrhea, and countless other bacterial infections that were once fatal. The messy laboratory that colleagues criticized became the birthplace of modern antibiotic therapy. Sometimes the most extraordinary scientific discoveries emerge not from perfect laboratory conditions, but from the unexpected chaos of human imperfection. Fleming's dirty laboratory habits, which seemed unprofessional to his contemporaries, created the exact circumstances necessary for one of medicine's greatest breakthroughs, proving that scientific serendipity often thrives in the most unlikely environments.
Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.